Hey guys, and welcome back to another part of 1945. Today we're gonna build the Indian subcontinent. So all we're gonna need is black concrete, red concrete, yellow terracotta, yellow concrete, blue concrete, leopard concrete, white concrete, green concrete, light gray concrete, purple block, and black terracotta. So let's get started. So let's start with a flat 12. And then a flat 8, a flat 3, and then down right by 1, down by 2, down by 2, down by 2, flat 2, down right by 4, flat 3, down by 2, a flat 3, Tetris piece, down right by 5, a flat 5, up right by 1, 2 up by 2s, up right by 2, down by 12, and then a down by 6, down by 4, down by 5, down by 3, down by 2, down by 2, down by 2, flat 2, up right by 1, up by 2, up left by 2, flat 3, and then down by 1 here, down by 2, down by 3, down by 4, down right by 1, down by 3, down by 3, down by 2, down by 3, down by 3, down by 2, down by 2, down right by 3, flat 2, up right by 3, flat 2, up right by 3, up by 3, flat 2, skip 2, and then flat 2, down by 1, down right by 1, down by 2, down right by 1, down by 2, down by 4, down by 2, flat 4, up by 3, up by 4, up by 6, and up by 3. So then up by 9, up by 3, up by 10, up by 2, flat 3, up right by 2, flat 3, up right by 1, up by 2, up right by 3, flat 2, up right by 4, 8, sorry, and then 3 flat 2s, up right by 1, up by 2, up by 2, up by 2, up right by 2, flat 2, down by 2, flat 5, flat 2, flat 2, flat 2, up right by 2, flat 2, down by 3, down by 2, down by 2, down by 2, down right by 6, down by 4, down right by 2, down by 4, down by 2, down by 2, down by 2, down by 2, down right by 1, flat 2, flat 3, up right by 5, flat 2, down right by 3, down by 3, 4, down by 5, down by 2, down by 4, down by 3, down by 3, down by 5, down by 3, down right by 1, up right by 2, up by 2, up by 2, up by 2, up right by 1, left by 1, up by 1, up by 3, up by 3, up by 2, up by 1, up by 2, up by 4, up by 3, up by 2, up by 1, and then 3 up by 2s, up by 1, up by 3, up by 3, up by 2, flat 2, up by 1, flat 2, up by 1, flat 2, and then up by 5, and then a flat 5, flat 2, up by 1, up by 5, up by 1, up by 2, up by 3, flat 2, flat 3, up by 3, up by 3, up by 3, up by 2, up by 3, up by 2, up by 2, up by 2, up left by 2, flat 3, up left by 5, flat 2, up flat 5, flat 4, down left by 1, flat 2, down left by 1, flat 2, flat 2, flat 2, down by 3, down by 2, flat 2, and then flat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 13. Up by 2, Tetris piece, up right by 3, flat 2, flat 4, flat 2, and then down right by 1. Up by 2, flat 2, flat 2, down by 7, and then flat 6, flat 4, flat 3, flat 3, flat 5, flat 2, flat 4, flat 2, flat 2, flat 2, up left by 1, flat 5, 3, flat up by 3, up by 2, up by 2, up by 1, flat 8, down right by 8, 4, down right by 8, down right by 4, where I keep saying that. Flat 4, down by 2, down right by 1, and then 3 flat 2s. And then a flat 10. And then up level 1, and then 2 flat 2s, flat 3, up level 1, up by 2, up by 3, up by 4, up by 4, flat 3, up by 2, up by 3, up by 2, up right by 1, up level 1, flat 2, up level 1, up by 2, up by 2, up flat 3, flat 3, flat 3, up by 2, touch piece, and flat 3. So that is all of the outline. So next is the flags. I'm only gonna do one of these, considering every single one of these are just the same as 1945. So just go watch that video if you want the flags. So get your flag terracotta for Bhutan, then down by 5, up right by 1, up right by 1, up level 1, up by 2, 1, and then 1, and then fill the rest with purple block. The reason why I'm doing only Bhutan is, well, it's because every single one of these other flags is the same, and I don't really want to repeat myself now. So I'm just gonna skip towards when everything here is done. So skip. Alright, so that's India, Nepal, Bhutan, the Portuguese colony, and Ceylon, 1930, done. So thank you guys for watching, follow the Discord, and the big view, and see you guys later. Bye.